Hey everyone, so I bought another CB500. This time I'm going to be doing a build series on the engine. So I'll be taking a totally standard engine and we'll be modifying it with the help of BCR Performance and P3 tuning. Essentially, it's a 2003 S model CB500, so similar to the one I had for my race bike, but this one's in much worse condition. So in the next few videos, I'll be taking the bike to P3 tuning. They'll help me do a dyno run on the bike initially. We'll see what it outputs as standard, and then that'll give us a baseline to be able to do something with it. Then I'll take the bike, I'll strip it apart, get it all powder coated, do all the modifications that I did on my race bike. I'll take it across to BCR Performance, where Ben will help me take the engine apart, and we'll do a full video on how we take it apart, and then all of the tuning that we're going to be doing to it as well. Right, so for the bike, you can see I've obviously done a bit of work to it, stripped some bits off it already, and it's not in the best of condition really. Engine wise, it's done 30,000 miles. I've changed the rear sprocket and the chain already because they were so rusted that I didn't trust them on the dyno. The wheels are going to get powder coated along with the forks. I've got a new radiator that I've bought, which is going to go straight on. So here with John from P3 Tuning, bike set up ready to go, and we're just about to do the power run, but just thought let John introduce the company and explain the sort of thing that they do.
So I'm John from P3 Tuning. We're a tuning parts and MOT service centre. We work on everything from your brand new latest and greatest Superbike from BSB all the way through to 1930s Vincent Black Lightnings. So from carb setup to electronic tuning, even standalone stuff, whether it be Motec, whatever. Yeah, we do it all.
What do CBs normally tend to put out as standard?
So they're pretty consistent. They make a mid to high 140s. We wish mid to high 40s. Yeah. So we're looking maybe 47. Okay. With the full race kit and prep, you like 52, 53s. And again, same deal. They're really consistent. They're pretty much all banging out the same kind of power, unless you do bigger mods to them. Yeah.
So you used to race CBs, didn't you? So
yeah, so I raced them for a couple of years. Brilliant bits of fun. I mean, probably should have done it when I started racing, because they're honest little bikes, yeah. But because everyone's on the same, they're just wicked fun. Yeah. Wicked fun. No matter if you're fighting for first or fighting for 30th, it's a laugh. Yeah. And they are a wicked bit of kit. You get used to their own little characteristics. The chassis move around an awful lot. The brakes are terrible, but you can really show up quite a lot of super bikes on one of these.
They're good fun, aren't they? Cool, so I mean, what we'll do is we're going to get a dyno run done, we'll get a base reading for it, and then that gives us a start line, and then from there, we'll probably be back at some point and hopefully see.
Yeah, once you've all got it all stripped and rebuilt by Ben, then we'll give it another run, and then we'll also do the fine tuning and sort out the setup.
So for the tuning then, it's mostly going to be looking at the carbs, isn't it?
Yeah, with these, you don't really have any ignition control, so, and we're not going to look at doing any standalone ignition system or Ignitec or anything like that. It'll be basically just running around standard ignition. So because we're not doing anything with that, it's just going to be carburation. So it's just making sure that the carbs are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah. So that'll be needle changes, jet changes, all that type of stuff, just to iron out any flat spots to make sure it's performing correctly, and then go from there.
Nice one. Right, cool. So we'll get cracking then and see what we can get out of this thing.
How many ponies? No free play in that throttle, eh?
I know.
Immediate power.
We've got to get every bit we can.
Yeah. Now the bike's on the dyno, we've got our RPM signal feed connected up, and the emissions is now connected so we can see what's going on.
Yeah.
And we've just done a quick health check of the bike, make sure the tyre pressure's good, the chain's good, oil's okay. We'll take your word that the water's all right.
Hopefully it doesn't explode, yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't explode. And then basically what we're going to do is we will start with just warming it up. We'll just warm it up, go through the gears, make sure it does everything it's supposed to be doing, there's no knocks, bangs. And then once we've got it nice and warm, we'll let it heat soak for a couple of minutes, and then we'll go into power runs. The power runs will basically consist of about 10 runs. Yeah. Pretty much flat stick, so 100% throttle. And that'll give us a baseline power figure and also how the fueling's doing, but that may not necessarily be that important for this run.
Yeah.
And then once we've done that, we'll also do a progressive roll-on run as well, just to kind of see what the fueling's doing across the board rather than it just being out and out power. And then that's kind of it really. These take a couple more runs than a normal bike because they like to be really warm. So nothing really too
Got to really
concerned.
extract that power from them.
Yeah, yeah. Tension the chain to death, loads of lube, 100 PSI in the tyre, yeah, and just hope for the best. Yeah, it'd probably fail an MOT, but we'll see what kind of power we can get out of it. Just in case you're cheating, put a different engine in it, I've got the engine number.
I was considering it for racing.
Just done the set of runs, and then this is our graph. I'll use my finger.
Yeah.
So this is our torque curve, and then this is our power.
Yeah.
And then we've got RPM down the bottom, and then this is our fueling. So we're roughly targeting this is the 13 to 1, 13 to 2.
Yeah.
On these, we don't mind them running a little bit richer, just to obviously run a little bit hot, especially when you're flat stick for so long.
Yeah.
But all in all, as a stock bike, it's not too bad. You've got a little area where you're running a little bit rich at the bottom, so anything below the line is rich, anything above the line is lean. So long as we're between here and here, we're okay.
Yeah.
And as you can see, you kind of trace in there or thereabouts, and then it just goes a little bit rich between 5.5 and 7,000 revs.
Yeah.
And then it kind of recovers and you're there. And you can see how it running rich in this area has a direct impact on the torque curve. You can see it goes pretty flat and then it drops and then it comes back up again. So that's what if we were to do an adjustment, obviously that's where we look at, and that's actually a little bit of a main jet change and a little bit of a needle change would correct that. But all in all, power-wise, 48.43 is really good, especially as a benchmark. These generally, with full system and everything being really fresh, you're only talking 52, 53 anyway. So
that's not
good,
bad,
good start.
Yeah, considering the condition of it and everything, and 30.
Yeah, looks like it's been dug out of a canal.
Yeah, 30,000 miles. Cool, so we've got a good starting point then, haven't we? So
really good base. It's a really nice curve. The bike itself is running really, really well. There's not any causes for concern as your base bike. I wouldn't be thinking that there's big issues with the gearbox or anything like that. It runs really well, goes through the gears really well, pulls really well.
So kind of over to Ben then really, to see what he can push out of that.
80 brake.
Yeah. So if you're interested in seeing how we take the engine apart and how we modify it, subscribe to the channel and then you'll be able to follow along with all the videos. Right, so I'm ready to start stripping the bike down. I'm not going to do this in as much depth as I did in my other build series. If you want to see me strip the bike down in detail, pointing everything out and so on, have a look at my channel at my race bike build series. That's the bike fully stripped down now. The next step is take the frame, chop off all the bits that I don't need. I'll take the forks and get them re-chromed and re-powder coated. I'll clean up the carbs and also all the other parts that are going to go back on the bike. In the next video, I'll be going across to BCR Performance. We'll strip down the engine, we'll put together a parts list, and then Ben can discuss all the modifications that he can do to the engine. We're all really keen to know what you think to the build so far. If you've got any questions about the bike, about the engine, or the process that we're going to go through, drop us a comment and we'll get back to you. So hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.